Walk with me through this transition from this to him. Big deal, transitioning from our large guy to our more desirable guy. So let's talk about how that transition looks. But first, I'm Jess. I'm a trauma-informed pelvic floor therapist, and I get to work with women from around the world to be able to end the drama of vaginismus and painful sex, to enjoy intimacy the way it was designed to be. Part of my story, I struggled with vaginismus for 8 long years. The first 8 years of our marriage were a struggle with intimacy. We tried everything. And I went through dilators actually like twice and still was not able to transition to my husband, which is exhausting and frustrating. I'm sure you're aware. And so what did it for us in the end is we switched to more of a nervous system based approach that targeted the pain that I was experiencing. And that's when we were able to finally enjoy intimacy. And so now I love it that I get to help couples all over be able to change the narrative so that sex is something they love and desire and cherish, and vaginismus is something in the past. But in order to get to that point, we have to get past these. And that transition for so many can be a struggle. You may have worked hard on these hours and labored and struggled and been in pelvic floor therapy or done all the exercises and went and did counseling, all this stuff, and yet you're stuck on these last few dilators. And anytime you try with him, it's just pain and the wall. And girl, that is so hard. And I can be the first to say, I've been there. It's miserable and it's exhausting. And I'm so sorry. But we can do it. We can get past this. I have helped hundreds of women be able to transition from this guy to their favorite guy. And that's what we want to work through here. Now, part of that is we have a 12-phase program that prepares them for that transition. So what we cover in this video is going to help maybe give you some tips. But really, when we start our program, when we start on day one, we are thinking transition in mind. So everything we do starting in day one is working towards that transition and making sure that we support you well in it. So it is a process, but it's totally doable. And let's just talk about what that's going to look like. So walk with me or think with me here about what does it look like when you size up a dilator. So maybe you're like, man, this one's going in pretty easy now. I'm ready for that next one. You grab that next one, you start working on it, and it's a little bumpy and a little clunky. You might have a day where it's like, oh, that acts pretty good. And then the next day it's like, it's not going in at all. And then one day it's like, oh, it burns a lot at the entrance. And the next day it's like, well, now it's a deep kind of ache at the bottom. And you're like, what the heck is happening? And then with time, eventually your body might figure it out. You've supported it better. That dilator becomes like, okay, now it's pretty consistent. It goes in, and now we go up to the next one. And so this has been the journey. Now, give or take, sometimes we go down a few. That's beautiful, actually. Sometimes we skip one and go up another one. Also beautiful. The whole journey is about growth and about helping support our body as we go on the journey of bigger dilator, smaller dilator, same dilator, whatever. So what I often see happening is when we go from the largest dilator, our goal dilator, to our partner, we expect it to go seamlessly. We expect him to go in and for sex to be now awesome and beautiful and pain-free, but we don't give ourselves the same grace that we gave that kind of more challenging dilator when we sized up. So now what's essentially happening is your partner is now your current growth dilator. It is the dilator that you are going to need to practice and get used to. That transition is going to be bumpy and clunky. And I think the thing we need to do first and foremost is accept that. We need to recognize that that's how it's going to be, because your body's trying to figure out what's happening. When you worked with the dilators, you were mostly in control. You were the one who's like, okay, I've experienced this before. I do this, I do that. This is what's worked for me. If you're in the program, you know about nervous system regulation strategies that have worked with dilators and all the stuff to do to support this happening. But now you have attached a human being to the end of your new growth dilator. So there's a human being, there's awkward movements, there's weird noises, there's lube mess ups, there's a whole lot more elements happening here that's going to make that transition a little bit more clunky and bumpy than maybe going up a dilator size. So the first thing is really just have grace with yourself and accept that this is going to be a process. That's okay though. That's not the end of the story. It gets better. It definitely gets better. But you want to kind of treat him in a sense like the next dilator size. Now that's so clinical and so boring, and we just want to have fun with sex, and I get it. So let's have fun with sex. Let's incorporate him as that new dilator size, but let's also have fun in that process. You don't need to do all of the same, like this stretch, this exercise, this thing when he's in. You can have fun with it, play around with it, learn your body, lean into intimacy, make out while you do it. Have fun with another human being there. Keep it curious. Keep the wonder there. Keep the excitement going, stay in your body, be present with the sensory experiences so that this is no longer a clinical dilator experience. It's intimacy and it's beautiful and it's cherished. But also we're kind of using him as that last dilator right now. So we're merging the two of them together in this transition. And that, again, expect that to be a little bumpy. You're going to have to laugh about it. You're going to have to trust the process with it, but it will get better. And the more that you can apply regulation strategies from the get-go, the very beginning, the better it's going to be with this transition. So definitely whatever works for you, pull that in, teach him how to do that, and have him help co-regulate with you. This transition doesn't have to be a failure. You have the choice whether to spiral if it doesn't work well, or to just accept it and kind of be like, well, I learned and I grew. I promise if you can lean into the response of not spiraling, your body's going to feel safer and this process is going to look a little bit better. So recognize the impact that your choice has in the response. You can either spiral and downfall, or we can have acceptance and feel safe in our bodies and in that transition period. And so we want to promote safety all around. We want to promote not having this fear of failure all around. Yes, we want intimacy to be beautiful and awesome, and it will get there, girl. We just have to trust the process and get through this. Now, if you're like, Jess, I have tried this. I've been on this forever. I can't look at another dilator and I'm so over this. Oh, let's chat. I love having these free consultations with women because it's such a sweet space to be able to say, me too, girl. I've been there. It is a struggle. You are so right. I hate this also. But there's hope. And so let's chat. I'd love to hear where you've been, where you're at, where do you hope to be? Let's hear those goals and let's figure out what we need to do to support you better, and would working together be a really great option for you? So go ahead and go to our website, painfreeintimacy.com, schedule a free consultation, and let's chat. Let's get you past this. Let's get you enjoying intimacy and having a body that you're confident in so you can have the great kind of sex that you were designed to have.